Well, I'll get things straightened out here in a minute, y'all. I'm trying to. My name's Tommy, and welcome to the 1 Million Mile Road Trip. I'm trying to invite my wife here. She is staying with her cousins in the mountains of Georgia, and I've had a little bit of internet issue where she's at. She's on up in LJ, Georgia, I think it is, and I haven't been able. I sent her an invitation, but apparently get because she's not on here, and she said she wanted to be. 1 second here. Let me try it on Facebook. Bear with me here just a minute. Come on. Oh, me. I tell you what, it's the internet where I'm at right now. I'm dry camping at Albertville, Alabama, at our cousin's house, and whatever reason, this brand new internet I have here is not doing great today. I don't know what the problem is with it. Let me get, man, I tell you what. Well, uh, give me 2 minutes and I'm going to try to get this straightened out while we do have people here. Let's see. I don't know why I can't get her even her messages to come up. Because there it is. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, maybe she'll get it. But anyway, I hope everybody is doing good. We don't look like we got a couple of people here. Gulf Coast Girl, Mac, good to see y'all here. I wanted to talk about a few things today. One is the gas prices, diesel prices, and everybody's been asking us, hey, are y'all quit traveling? Are y'all going to quit traveling around the country? And, it is pretty concerning that we have a major trip planned in the spring. We're actually when Meddena comes back from the mountains here, we plan on staying here in Alabama for another probably week, and then we're going to go up to back up to Tennessee for another week, and then we're going up to our daughter's house, and we're going to stop by Nashville, see our son, and go to our daughter's house in Milwaukee. But we're actually going to leave there in hopefully the last of April for a major trip that we have planned, and we're not going to really give away the what we're doing right now, but it is very interesting. I have never heard of anybody doing this type of trip before, and it's going to be very historical places we're going to. So we're very excited about it. We've been planning it for a while. It's the whole thing is going to be around 2,000 to 2,500 miles. So you say, well, what have how's gas going to affect you with that? Well, I want to remind y'all back about less than a year ago, these were our gas prices for diesel when we first wanted to get into the RV. Right here, diesel was around 235 a gallon. That's that's what they were then when we started. And this is one that I found on the internet. Renewable diesel, $5.99 a gallon. Well, of course, we can't. That would be $2, $3 more, basically nearly $4 higher than what we would be paying before. So if we get about between 8-10 miles to the gallon in our RV. We have 100-gallon tank. We have a range. We never run it down till it gets empty, but just for figuring purposes, we can go about 800 miles, 8 to 1,000 miles on a tank of gas. But let's just pick the bottom numbers, eight 8 miles to the gallon. Um, if I say this is a say we're going to do now, this just out to where we're going is about 25. We figure 5,000 miles by the time we get back here, and then we plan to go up in the fall up to Maine in that area. But just say 5,000 miles. So if you'd have to take eight eight into 5,000. I had it figured up at one time. Let me see if I can pull up my little calculator. Maybe somebody here is can figure it faster in your head than I can. Uh, but made by 8 is 600. Yeah, 625 gallons. So if you're doing that times, if gas is, what we have to figure is how much higher is it from where we were. So if gas was, say, $2 a gallon higher, you're looking at $1,250 more than what you would have figured last year if gas. But we have a little secret weapon. I think a lot of RVers have this secret weapon. Oh, Dina's here. Hold on just a minute. Dina, I can't click. Here we go.
Finally.
Hey, finally.
I thought I was never going to get your attention.
Oh yeah, well I was talking. You know how it is when I start talking.
I
Um,
know how it is when you start talking.
oh, I love that fire in the background though.
I
Man,
know. Merlene and
that
I
looks
got it
so
started.
good, huh?
Oh, Felicia went and got, look. Felicia went and got the wood from a neighbor who offered to come over and start it for us. And this is Merlene, and Merlene helped me
Hey,
make it. Make the
well,
fire.
good.
The others are inside
I'm
waiting
glad
to come
y'all
out.
having a good time.
I don't know.
I'm glad y'all having a good time.
We're
But
having
what
a
I was
great
telling,
time.
is it cold up there?
No, it's not cold. Felicia says I have to
Okay,
move away from the fire.
why?
I don't know. There's because it popped. Yes, we're
Uh,
having a good time.
they're
I'm not going
afraid
to
of
stay on here the whole time
fire.
that you're on. I just wanted to say hey to everybody. I'm enjoying the laughter and fun with my cousins. Felicia made an awesome meal for tonight. We had your kiwi wine, Tommy, and it was delicious. And they said it
Great,
was good.
great.
So just wanted to pop in and say hello, and I will see y'all next time.
Did you get my message about that other phone number?
No.
Look on your phone.
Okay. When I get
Look
off, I will.
on. I sent you a text message.
Okay.
Okay. Have
I
a great
love you.
time.
All right. Bye bye.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, she is in the Georgia mountains now, and she is having a great time with her cousins. And I hope she's going to be rested when she comes back and ready to us to start traveling again. She talked about kiwi wine. I made back when we both. She makes wine all the time, homemade wine, but she doesn't drink that much. But um, mostly gives it away to friends and family. But I wanted to try some kiwi wine, so I made a 3 gallon jug of kiwi wine, and it turned out great. It really did. I didn't drink. I probably haven't drank a glass of it, but it did turn out very, very good. It won second place only to her first place. She won first place at the fair. She made a cayenne pepper wine, and I won second place with a kiwi. So, hey, keep it in the family anyway. But what we were talking about with diesel, us it's going to probably cost us about 1,200 to $1,500 more to travel. Now, you say, and that's just for this one side of the trip. Then we get back and we plan a trip in the fall up to Maine. We're hoping that gas prices will be settled down by then. If they're not, then maybe we'll have to reevaluate it. But here's the secret weapon that most RVers, if you're an RVer and you don't have this, you need it. Uh, this card here through EFS is, of course, this is a dummy card that just a picture of it. Uh, it's It's like TSD Logistics, but EFS is the company. What it is they allow RVers to join with their all the truckers. It's a company that started with 100 truckers, 100 trucks, and they allow RVs to join. And we probably have there's probably 500-600 RVs that are out there. And what it does, if we have a map that an app, and right now I look today, Nashville Gas is got some TA gas diesel truck stops is what we use. TA diesel in Nashville, they're the cheapest. They were $4.10 a gallon. That's what I would have to pay for it instead of over $5 a gallon, like in most places you'll see. If you look at Love's and stuff, they'll see the big signs up there. They'll say 5.39 for gas. Well, I would probably at Love's get about 40 to 50 cents a gallon off of that using that card. And the way they do it is you deposit $1,500 in this account and they uh, debit the money when you get your gas, you debit it from that account. And they won't they say your bank account, but what we did was we opened a separate account for just for fuel, and we'll put $1,500 in it every other month or whatever, just for fuel. And as we use it, we will, and it saves us a lot of money. It saves us, well, at that say if gas is say $5.50 a gallon, or just say that $4.10, that saved me over $1 a gallon, $1.40 a gallon. So you can see where it saves RVers a lot of money. Now I have to tell you up front, we are affiliates of them, and if you go down in our if you just mention that you saw it on the 1 million mile road trip, they will give me a little $5 off gas or something. It's not that much, but they do give me a little break on one fill up. Not all of them. I wish it was all of them, but and if you have a gas RV, of course, that doesn't work on gas RVs. This car doesn't. This car doesn't. But Gas Buddy will show you where you can save 15 cents here or 7 cents here, or whatever. Now, today I went and filled up the car, our regular car Jeep we have, at a gas station because in the paper up in here it had say 45 cents if you have a Foodland card. Well, I went up there and touched it or scanned it, and it said you could save 15 cents. So I asked the guy at the station, I said, it's supposed to be 45 cents. And he said, well, that's if you get 3 times, you'll save 45 cents. It's a little false advertisement, I think. But anyway, it was minus 15 cents. But so, there's various ways to get around it. Will it stop RVing? I think it will stop some people from RVing if you're not full time uh, and you don't have a YouTube channel. That see, we have to put out content all the time. We can't just sit in one spot for a real long time unless we're going around filming a lot of things in the area because we've signed up for this. Um, but if say you're not a full time RVer and you this spring, if you have an RV and you plan on going out to Yellowstone or something, then you're going to have to budget probably another third or even maybe more than that in fuel because I think Yellowstone's about 1,500 miles out there. Um, so you would have to do it probably another $1,000 in fuel. And a lot of times, if you're working and have children and all that, you can't afford to do that. You can't afford to plop down that much money. Gulf Coast Coach said we spent a little over $800 this past October pulling our travel trailer, and gas was cheaper then. Yeah, and I know when diesel was like $2.50, we'd pull up there and I'd put $60 in it, and it would be Maggie. Maggie hears something outside. Uh, even at $2 a gallon, the 60 gallons to be $120. So it's going to be probably a 190 and 200, 300. But what am I? Somebody help me out here. If it's $2.50 and I've got 60 gallons, I'm not a mathematician. I think it's what is $175 or something like that. Man, I can't even think tonight. Um, Let me see my little calculator here. $150. Uh, but people beside me look at me and say, "Whoa, man, I'd hate to fill that up." Well, I had a friend of mine had a diesel truck when he put 40 gallons in it the other day, and his bill was $120. So you know, uh, that's before it really got bad. It's $5, $6 a gallon. I've heard that in California, there's places $8 to $10 a gallon right now. I don't see how they afford to do it unless you have a job making $300,000, $400,000 a year. Um, uh, yeah, I think full timers are going to have to sit longer in one spot and then take their car if they got one and travel around and see the sights in that one spot. On this big trip that we have planned, and like I said, I don't want to go into it now because we're going to kind of, so I don't want to talk about the big trip and tell you where we're going and what's going to happen. And then something happened with this gas prices and then it messes it all up and we have to change our plans. So right now, we're not going to say what it is. But with this trip, I think we will end up staying like instead of 1 or 2 days at a location, we'll end up staying a week and then taking the car or the Jeep rather and then going out and exploring different areas around that. And I think with this particular trip that we have planned, we can do that. But with some people, what they'll do is they'll get, and that was what we did when we first started out back in 2014 or 15. During our other time we were full time, and it was my fault. I'd always heard we left like in September, let me see, June, May. We better get to the national parks before June because or July because they get packed, and that is true. They do get packed. So you'll be, if you jump and run straight out there and don't stop until you get to say where you're going, like the Grand Canyon or Yellowstone, then you're gonna seriously spend some fuel and you're gonna pay more for RV parks because parks when we started back before parks ran about $30 a piece, 35, 25 sometimes. Well, now they've jacked them up. They're up to around $50 a piece for most parks, 35 to 50. If you're lucky, a state park, they'll pretty much always be around $30. Um, they claim 25, but a lot of problems we've learned about state parks, especially in your northern Michigan, Illinois, and stuff. The first time you stay there, or anytime, they'll charge you $10. It's like a fee, a special park fee, $10 uh, to stay there for if you stay 4 or 5 nights. It's like $10 for that time period if it's a week. Uh, but if you're gonna, so if you'd be better off to buy a $30 pass for the year, and then you don't have to pay that $10 again. You pay $30 for the pass, and then you can stay 6 or 7 nights up the road at 4 or 5 different parks. But we had that problem in Michigan first time we stayed there, and the guy said it'd be like I don't know $10, $20 fee, and he said, but you can pay $30 and stay as long as you wanted to, at different parks and don't have to pay it. So we did, and we ended up staying about 5 or 6 uh, state parks in that area, and then if you stay at a national park, it is better to um, if you're over 65, you can buy a lifetime pass for like $80. Or if you're disabled, you can get um, a free pass completely. Or you can, if you're under 65, you can buy a yearly pass to, or I guess you could probably buy a full time, a lifetime. Um, I don't know what that cost is though. Uh, but I hope everybody's good tonight. We, you know, um, well, I appreciate Teresa that you finally got uh, on while we are live. Um, with well, we have not been on live on this channel in a while, just because we've been out in a lot of places we don't have service. Um, yeah, everything's going up. Well, you gotta understand that if a trucker's having to pay a high price for diesel, the trucking company's going to pass whatever he's hauling, like groceries and lumber and everything, on to the consumer. It's a never ending thing, and with the war in Ukraine and tensions over there and us piling money over there, which is all good. I'd rather send money than send our troops over there. That I'm fighting on foreign shores. Um, but and I feel bad for Ukraine and the kids. And I think Putin is a tyrant, and he is a war criminal. But it's a sad situation over there at the very least. But I think I think full timers are going to have to stay longer. But that is a problem too, because we're coming to a season where summertime all of your rates go up. So you sure you can stay like a week and your rate will be down lower, but you know, in the wintertime, a month, you can stay a month at some parks for $700 a month. That's what I've seen it from seven all the way up to 2,000 a month, depending on where you're at. But that could be what you would pay for a week in the summertime at some places. So you can't really. It's not going to be easy. Now, just like now, we are boondocking, dry camping, whatever you want to call it, on our cousin's place here. We're using our solar, or I am. Dina's in the mountains. If you didn't hear, Dina's in the mountains of Georgia. I've got my solar on top of the roof. Um, right now, my batteries are about 85% charged because the sun, it was very cloudy today, but it still was able to charge it up some. Um, it rained all last night, and batteries got down to 70%, which is still great. I can still operate the TVs. I can turn the fans on. I can turn the lights on, charge my phones, have internet. Only thing I had, that really burns the batteries if I were to have the air conditioner on, or if I'm cooking, yeah, me cooking, or if I have, um, something that's gonna do a lot of amps. If I want to make coffee in the morning, make my first cup of coffee, it takes a lot of wattage, but hopefully during the day the sun will come out and it doesn't take long at all before it charges the batteries back up. But worst case scenario, and a lot of these people do the same thing. I have a 10 kW generator on the front of this. I'll start it up and charge the batteries back up. But a lot of people will start to do what we call boondocking. They would go, but it's harder to do that in the eastern United States, southeastern United States. Not a whole lot of places to do so. But out west, there's BLM property that you can stay on for 14 days free, or there's some you can even stay on for free for even longer periods of time. Um, and then there's Harvest Host that we're members of, that is really great. You travel from farms and museums, theaters, even churches. They will allow you to stay in their parking lot for absolutely free, but you have to be self-contained, and it helps if you have solar, so that you can still operate, you know, without having to worry about anything. We uh, we use harvest hosts. We stay at Cracker Barrels. Hardly ever stay at Walmart's because it's just real busy at night, and it just a lot of noise. And Cracker Barrel's a lot better choice. Um, never go to truck stops, because the truckers can use every space. We have to allow them every space they can do, because they're out here working on the road, and I don't want to be in somebody's way. I mean, it's made for trucks. Even though they have a couple of slots for RVs, I've never stayed at a truck stop. Um, it's just not a good place, I don't think, to stay. I mean, you may be taking up somebody else's spot that is out here on the road, that driving for a living, that is sleepy and tired. Rest areas, I've stayed at a couple of rest areas when I just absolutely had to, but not, but just because it's so noisy. And if they don't have security, they can be unsafe. Maggie, we're where we're at. Somebody asked us last time we were on, or in one of my comments, their cousin's place here. They have the whole farm is 240 acres, I think, but they have like 15 acres here by the house, and they put a pad down here at the bottom where we could stay. Where in the future he hopes to have a workshop. Well, it's got gravel. We're all the way. We're probably 200 yards away from the house, and we're you know down here, and there's woods all around us, all kinds of animals and cows and stuff around us. So it's a very good place to stay. Uh, well, I appreciate that, Gulf Coast girl. That's awful nice of you to say. We may take you up on it sometime. Um, that's they have a thing that we are members of. Actually, we've yet to do it just because we've used Harvest Oath so much, but it's called Boondockers Welcome. And what it is, you join $40 a year, and people have a place at their house that they allow you to come park on their property, and it's a way for them to meet people and share their life, and it's kind of neat. Uh, yeah, free pass on your husband's disability. Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah, I had a free pass back last time, and I've lost it, so I've got to redo my redo my stuff next time when we're close to a national park. There's only a certain amount of national parks that actually sell the passes. Your major parks, anyway. But I am worried about the price of gas. I mean, and diesel. We On the way up here, we had a half a tank of diesel coming up here, and Medina was like, let's find a place and fill up. And I was saying, I don't know about that. Let's hold off, because it may go down a little bit with them opening up the fuel reserves. That it would possibly go down again, and it did. It actually went down about 25 to 30 cents on our app as far as what we pay for it in the last 2 weeks or so. So we'll see. I'm hoping um, that Biden will actually allow some of um, the oil restrictions and stuff like that to be lifted, where we can be self sufficient again. That was, and I don't want to get into politics, but we were completely self sufficient for oil, not needing any foreign country to supply us with any oil 4 years ago. And now we are trying to buy it from Iran and Venezuela, that people that say they want to kill us and destroy our country. So I just I don't know. I'm just, and I just believe that I don't know. I could get into I could get into a whole thing about this. People are, we there's so many people, and I believe in climate change and all this. I do, but it's hard for us to do drastic measures when China and Russia and all these other people are pouring all this stuff in the atmosphere. They're not doing anything to stop pollution. So, I don't know. It's just different. It's hurting us. I listened to our news people they were interviewing somebody, and they said they were interviewing this one lady, and she said she paid $250 a week for gas. $250 a week. She said that is only about a couple $100 that she'll make it work for the whole month. And she had said she had kids. She said, I can't do that. What am I gonna do? Quit my job? What am I gonna do? And this other guy said that was, he was saying the same thing. He said, I just quit my job. I said, I can't afford to work because I can't afford to pay the gas to get to work. And that it is crazy. Um Near Anna Maria Island, my house. Long roadway. Wow, that sounds nice, Teresa. That sounds awesome down there. We used to live in actually on the Gulf Coast, and that's kind of home for us down there. But we moved kind of to escape. We wanted to RV full time, but a lot of things led us in that direction. Was that insurance and taxes just ate us up. Of course, we wasn't in Florida. Florida is a Gracie. Florida is they can help you out. I think on taxes. I've got all the animals here with me tonight. Maggie and Gracie and Moses in the floor. But Medina will be back on. Well, she's staying 4 nights up there, so she'll be back by the weekend anyway. But that's very nice. I tell you what, it just we so far, yeah, no state income tax. Yeah, and in fact, Alabama, where I retired from the state of Alabama, in law enforcement, but they don't tax our retirement. But if I move to another state, which right now we're domiciled in Tennessee, they don't have state tax either. And Alabama may be getting where they don't have any state tax for groceries. They're trying to do that now. But the problem with Alabama is, and I don't know if y'all know this living down there close to it, Alabama's got a 16 cents sales tax on gasoline. And if they just took that off, the governor, people that are running for governor down there are trying to get them to take that tax off to lower the price of gasoline. But I heard on the nightly news that the national gas tax, they're talking about suspending the national gas tax, and it was like tax on regular gasoline is like 50 or 60 cents of what you pay at the pump. So if they just suspended that until all of this gasoline gets more, help everybody out, that would be huge. Of course, that would they would have to slow down about spending so much money in Washington, but I don't think that would be a bad thing myself. Um, but getting back to RV, and we are still the decision we have made is okay. If it's going to cost us, we figure it's going to probably cost us $1 a gallon more than what we did before. $1 a gallon. So I'm looking at for this trip coming up somewhere around 600, around $1,250 counting. It depends on which way we come back, but just going out on this trip would be $625. So but then we got to turn around and come back. So if we spend probably $1,200, that's a good bit of money. But it's not. I just cannot. I can't. I didn't start RVing to sit in one spot. Even if it's going to cost a little bit of money, I told Meddena that we'll just have to cut back on the times we eat out. We have to cut back on a lot of stuff like that. Um, Now, I didn't know you lived on a sailboat before, Gulf Coast girl. I'm gonna tell you, that was my dream, was for us, instead of getting an RV, I was wanting to get a boat. But we got dogs now. We really can't live on a boat with a dog. It's You can, but it's a headache to do that, because then for them to do their business. But Dana's just not. She's not up to the boat thing, and she'd rather do the RV thing. But I've always, we had a sailboat when we first got married, a 27-footer, and we sailed a lot of stuff. But I've always been a big sailboat guy. Always, I love to sail. But yeah, and we thought about doing the South Dakota. Y'all lived on 3 different sailboats? Wow. I wanna hear about that sometime. Um, we thought about domicile in South Dakota, but, uh, a number of things kinda kept us from doing that. Number 1 was that, um, if we had to come back and do car tags and stuff, I guess we coulda done them by mail, but, it was just as easy to do it in Tennessee. Dina's dad has a farm up there. He's got a place for us. We counter domiciled his place. We pay our taxes, vote, everything in Tennessee, and we have our car tags cost $150, and the only reason it cost 150 was we had a personalized tag on our RV. It says YouTube, but the regular tag is wheel tax. Basically, it's around $100 in Alabama just for the RV. It would have been $1,000 a year just to tag the RV in Alabama. So it's crazy, crazy stuff. Uh, but let's just hope that the the gasoline situation gets straightened out, because I'm not blaming it all on the every 5 years you had to go back to South Dakota. Wow, I didn't know it was every 5 years. Um, I know the gasoline problem is not just the war in Ukraine, because it started going up prior to Putin invading Ukraine, because the there's people in government right now that believe that we shouldn't have the pipeline, and it was closed down. That was almost complete, and we couldn't have certain drilling in certain places. And I'm not for drilling in the national parks. I hope they never do that. But there's a whole lot of other places they could drill. There's tons of places in Oklahoma that they do this fracking and drilling and stuff. And I think they were drilling in Alaska, which I don't know if that was a national park or what. It was Onwa, whatever that was. But there was, they whatever they did caused our gas to jump, and now because of the war, it's even going higher. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that we kind of, whoever whatever that's going on, they get their head together up there, and diesel and gas goes down. And the one thing my father used to tell me, he said diesel was actually unrefined gasoline. That's what he told me. But it's not quite that simple. It it they have to go through several more steps to get gasoline, the way I understand it. But I don't understand why diesel is always higher. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and he said, "Well, I can tell you, it's because of more people use diesel. You know, even more than cars. The truckers, when they go fill up, they put like up to 400 gallons of diesel at a time. I remember something I read the other day. It said that a truck driver normally was spending about $300 to $400 on to fuel two tanks on the front of the truck. Now they're spending over $1,000 to $1,200, and they are going to pass that on to people for groceries. Going to pass it on to lumber, hauling lumber. Anything that you see on the truck out there going across country uh, is going to be in truckers is going to be higher. Even hauling gasoline, just think about that. You haul gasoline to fill up the tanks, and all of it's going to be higher. It's higher because they have to use gasoline or diesel to fill up the tanks with gasoline. So it's going to drive. It's a never ending. It's like a snowball. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Um, yeah, I've had friends that have worked in the oil fields and everything too. And I mean, the United States got enough oil. They just got to let them pull it from the ground. You know, that's the thing. I hate it that we're having to buy oil from other people. It's crazy. Um, yeah, Teresa, that's good. We had when I worked on the Gulf Coast, I stayed at the police department during all the hurricanes down there, and I was an investigator, so I had an office, and I would sleep inside my office. I mean, they would. I remember one they had that was going to be a Category 5. They got us together, and they said, "What do you want to do? You want to go inland, or you want to stay?" And we said, "Let's stay. You know, we feel safer here." And so we stayed up until the weather service called and said, "Hey, if y'all stay, you're all gonna die." And so they freaked out and they moved us 20 miles inland. But before it hit, it weakened to 4, and we came back. But yeah, they're bad. Now we had over, I don't know, $100,000 of damage from Ivan at our house. So um, hurricanes are bad. I would tell you, if you live on the Gulf Coast or in that area, I would not advise you to stay during a hurricane. It's just not worth it. Our police department was concrete, almost the whole thing, concrete roof and everything. So only thing we would have had to worry about is water. Um, but I just want to talk about that tonight, and um, it's something that's kind of been bothering me. I mean, every time on the way down here, day before yesterday, and even today when I dropped Medina off in Tala and drove back. I saw several diesel signs, over five, nearly almost $6 a gallon for diesel, and that's why I went to this app that we have and looked it up this afternoon. I saw I could get it from TA is the name of the diesel place, truck stop, for $4.20 a gallon. And even as low, I think it's $4.10 a gallon, if I'm not mistaken. So some places we'll just have to hunt for it. I mean, we'll have to plan our fuel stops. We'll have to say, okay, we're going to get it here for this or get it here for that. Um, you'll just have to do that. And I think that goes for gasoline too. Um, um, you have to, and it's just like for preparing for these hurricanes. You need to fuel up your cars ahead of time and everything because and leave early too because if you don't, you get stuck on the highway. Well, I appreciate the few people we had in here tonight, and I'm sure that I'll have more come in later and watch it. That's the way it is. It always is. Too many stuff on TV right now this week. Um, I think that I know they said that the that Bachelor they had on TV. They said it was the number one program on TV last week. It was like I forgot how many million people watched that thing. But so I'm sure we'll have others. Um, in. But thank you, Gulf Coast Girl. Thank you, Teresa, for standing by with me and talking to me. I do appreciate it. I do want to hear about these sailboats you lived on, though, sometime. Maybe we'll get to talk one day on the phone, or maybe you email me about it. That's kind of my second love. I would live on a boat right now if Dina would go along with it, and we'd make it with the dogs. But it's not going to be able to do it. Pet Nanny, Nancy Pet Nanny. Good to see you, Nancy. Um, we do appreciate y'all being here, and we hope we'll have a video out on Sunday, barring anything drastic. If they're talking about we may have thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. I'm now so sick of rain down in here. Is mud everywhere. My dogs, every time they get in the RV, they track mud in here. We're having to wipe their feet off and do all kinds of stuff. But we do appreciate y'all. Uh, yeah, I agree with you. Sailing is very relaxing. We do appreciate you being here. Hope to catch you next time. Y'all have a great night, and God bless y'all. And we will see you down the road. And I tried to download some stuff on here, another thing, but for whatever reason it wouldn't download. I think it's my internet. It's just not established enough tonight. So uh, we do appreciate it, and y'all come back and see us again. God bless y'all, and good night. Come on.